Okay, so today we're on the farm with Vincent Macken. Vincent is one of our signpost tillage farmers. He's in County Meath, and this video we're just going to give you a brief introduction to Vincent and his farm. So Vincent, if you'd like to maybe introduce us to your farm.
Well, we're farming here in middle of County Meath. Soil around here is great soil, very fertile, prone to compaction, and so you have to be very careful with that.
So what crops do you grow on the farm, Vincent?
At the moment we're wheat, barley, beans, and oilseed rape. Yeah. That's what we do. Yes.
The break cropping is, you were continuous cereals for a long time, but you've introduced break crops in recent years.
Yes, I was a continuous cereal guy up to a couple of years ago. But because I'm min-tilling, the ground around here, if you hit a wet autumn, it can very difficult to get it all sowed up. So just to liven up the ground, to make it easier to till, I decided I had to go break cropping. Yeah. And of course there's an awful lot to be learned too about soil biology and all that as well. Bit of diversification as well. Yeah.
Having some cereal crops following the likes of beans and rape this year might be additional benefits for nitrogen as well in the year that's in it.
Yes, a bit fortuitous that way, for sure. Yeah. It'll save some money on nitrogen in particular. Yes.
You employ the use of cover crops on this farm for a good while now, both with your glass contract but also non-glass cover crops. Is there a reason behind that?
Yes. I found that the soil here, you need to keep something in it growing all the time. And if you can do that, if you treat it well, it'll treat you well. Yes, after winter barley in particular, I get out maybe mid-August, sow the cover crop, and then maybe you'd have growth for 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It might get to knee high sometimes. Spray it off, and sow directly into that then. And of course, as regards cover crops, I was doing them before I joined glass, but with the glass, you have to leave the cover crop there for the winter. So that suited my system in that I was doing some of that anyway, and it sort of tied in with control of the sterile brome as well. For winter cropping. We did actually initially plough the ground in the spring. The last few years we haven't been ploughing, and it seemed to work just as well as regards controlling sterile brome.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to talk a little bit about your establishment system that you use?
Yes. I try to move the soil as little as I can. Here in County Meath, you'd really want to have great conditions before you can go min-tilling, before you can go direct drilling. So normally I'd sow the cover crop, short-term cover crop, with a heavy disc, and roll it, then spray it off and sow straight into that. Now some autumns just it's too wet. You might have to put the tine harrow in.
Yep.
And the ground around here doesn't dry out too quickly, so I've resisted the temptation to plough any of my own ground in the last couple of years, and I found that sort of even if we got a wet back end, so that ground moves over to spring corn, and the spring corn has done well for me. Maybe the weather pattern has suited that.
Yeah.
And that when it dries up in the spring, it seems to get very dry. So that suited the min-till spring corn, which I didn't expect so much.
Yeah.
And has yielded very well the spring corn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.